Hello students, this side Mansi Mahindru from ABES Engineering College, Ghaziabad. So from this lecture series, we're going to start with unit number 3, that is Introduction to Design Strategies of an Algorithm. In the previous video, I already told you what this unit will going to consist of. This unit basically focuses on two important design strategies for any algorithm. So one of the design strategies will going to start from this lecture series, and this particular technique will also cover the upcoming lectures as well. So the important design strategies that we are starting from this lecture series is Introduction to Greedy Approach. Now let's start with the lecture. So these are the topics that we're going to cover in this lecture series, that is Introduction to Greedy Algorithm, examples, components of greedy algorithm, applications, and various advantages and disadvantages of using greedy algorithm. Now, first of all, before moving ahead, it is very important to understand why we are using this topic. What makes the greedy so special in DAA? As we know that there are many design strategies for any algorithm, like you can take help of divide and conquer, you can take help of dynamic programming, you can take help of backtracking, branch and bound, string matching, etc. But what is greedy algorithm? It is also one of the design strategies for any algorithm, and it is one of the most important topic of this subject. So greedy algorithm, as it is written here, that the greedy algorithm is one of the strategies, just like a divide and conquer. But how is it different from divide and conquer? So the basic beauty of greedy algorithm is it is used to solve optimization kind of problem. Let me take my pen. It will help you to understand it better. So let me take my pen first. Yeah. So as it is written here, that it is used to solve optimization kind of problem. Now, the question that comes to your mind is, what is this optimization? What is optimization? So optimization is nothing. It is if at the end you want to achieve something maximum or something minimum. Means, see, the topic is greedy. And if I said what is the meaning of greedy, greedy means lalchi. So, as a lalchi person, if you want to achieve something maximum at the end or something minimum at the end, that is optimization problem. Right? For example, if I'll ask you to earn maximum profit, then this is your greedy algorithm. If I says that you have to travel this journey in minimum cost, then this is also a greedy algorithm, because at the end you want to achieve something, something minimum, something maximum. So this is greedy algorithm. This makes greedy so special. But greedy means lalchi. So what best comes to my mind at that particular situation is best solution for me. But I don't know whether that particular solution is actually best solution or not. That is the major disadvantage of using this technique. But disadvantages we're going to discuss it later. But for today, and for now, we have to only focus on that we now understand what is optimization, something minimum and something maximum at the end you want to achieve. That is known as optimization. Now, here it is said that this technique is basically used to determine the feasible solution that may or may not optimal. Now, again, two words come to my mind. What is feasible and what is optimal? Now, let's take one very simple example to understand what is feasible and what is optimal, because it is very important to understand these terminologies first in order to understand what is greedy algorithm. So these are the main components, or these are the basic terminologies that you will going to heard, that you will going to get in this particular unit. So one is available solution, feasible solution, and optimal solution. Now, what is the difference between all these terminologies? This is the important question. Now, let's take one very simple example to make it very clear. Okay, so let's start with the examples. For example, if I give you one problem, P, and this particular problem says that you have one source and you have one destination, right? And you have to travel from this source to this destination. Now, first I'll ask you, if you want to travel from some source and you have to reach to some destination, what all available options you have. So you will say, ma'am, I can go by walk, means solution one can be simple walking, right? Second solution comes to my mind is I'll go by cycle. Third solution comes to my mind is I'll take the bus and I'll travel. Fourth solution comes to my mind, I'll travel with train. And the last solution that comes to my mind is I'll go with flight. Yes. Now I added one more constraint to you that you have to travel from A to B in next 2 hours. Now, as a greedy person, you have to cover this journey in next 2 hours. So you said that all these solutions are nothing. They are my available solutions. These are nothing. These are my available solutions. So as you can see in the previous slide, the first component is available solution. Available solution is nothing. It's a set of all the possible choices or options at a given step. So this is your available solution. Now, when I added this constraint that you have to cover this journey in next 2 hours, then you said, ma'am, now from this set of solution, I have to choose something better. Now, as you said, if I have to cover this journey in next 2 hours, then I can go with bus, I can go with train, and I can go with flight. Okay. So these are nothing. These are my feasible solutions. Feasible solutions. Right. So this is the solution that is basically fulfilling all the criteria that I have given you in the problem. Like you have to complete this journey in next 2 hours only. So these are my feasible solution. But as a greedy person, I have to save my money also. Means I want that if bus is also giving me, bus helps me to complete that journey in next 2 hours. Train is also doing that. Flight is also doing that. But as a greedy person, then why should I go with flight if I have option of train? Right. So as a greedy person, you said, I will add one of my more constraint that I have to cover this journey in minimum cost. Now, this minimum word comes into the picture, and when this minimum comes, the optimization words come. Means when you are about to find your feasible solution, again something strikes to your mind that इसके साथ साथ मैं अपना फायदा भी क्यों ना देख लूं. So that is where the greedy comes into the picture. Now you said from this feasible solution, for me, flight is not an optimal solution. Train is more feasible because train is more optimal because train will going to cost me less as compared to flight. So as I said, S4 is nothing. It's my optimal solution. So greedy algorithm journey starts from the available solution and it will going to take you towards optimal solution. And in between, feasible solution also comes. So these are the main components of greedy algorithm. Now you can see here feasible solution, a solution that satisfies, one second. Yeah, a solution that satisfies problem constraints. Now, constraint to our problem is you have to cover that journey in next 2 hours only, right? What is optimal solution? The final solution obtained by completing all the steps of algorithm. This may or may not be the global optimal solution. See, with this particular example, we got to know what is available solution, what is feasible solution, and what is optimal solution. But I am not able to find the meaning of this line that this particular approach may or may not lead to the global optimal solution. What does this statement means? I'm not getting actually how this greedy algorithm will not going to give me global optimal solution. And what is this local optimal solution and what is this global optimal solution? For now, I understood what is optimal. But now I came to know that this optimal is again of two types. This optimal is again of two types. One is nothing, it's local, and another one is global. Now I have to find out what is this local and what is this global. Now let's move ahead. Yeah. So let's start first. Let's try to figure it out what is local and what is global. Let's take one very simple example again. For example, example number two. Yeah. Let's take, let's draw one example here. Yeah. 3, 4, 7, 6, 22, 11. Yeah. Now I have given you one tree and I ask you that you have to start your journey from this root node and you have to reach towards the leaf node. Now, when you will start your journey, you have not invested any amount. So initially, the amount invested by you is 0. When you will reach to this root node, you have to invest 3 rupees. Means now you have invested total 3 rupees to reach to this root node. Now from this root node, there are two paths. 1, 2. As a greedy person, you will going to take that path which will cost you less. Obviously, बात है. है ना? As a greedy person, you will going to take that path which will cost you less. So as a greedy person, you said, I will going to take this path. Okay. So this particular amount will be added to your fare and now your fare will be 4 plus 3, that is 7. So again, you see that there are two paths. As a greedy person, you said, I will take this path because this path will going to cost me less. So you have added this. Now you got total amount as 13, right? But for you, this 13 is the best solution. At this particular time, whatever scenarios comes to your in front of you, you find that this 13 is the best answer for me. This is the best money that I can invest on this route and minimum money that I can invest on the route. So this 13 is nothing. It's a local optimal solution. Local optimal means जो इस पर्टिकुलर टाइम पे मुझे बेस्ट समझ आया एज अ ग्रीडी पर्सन वो मैंने ले लिया सो दिस इज 13. नाउ आई हैव टू फाइंड आउट क्या ये 13 सच में ऑप्टिमल सॉल्यूशन था क्या कोई और बेटर सॉल्यूशन हो सकता था इस प्रॉब्लम का देन यू फिगर आउट अगर मैं ये वाला पाथ लेती 3 let's take this path. So initially I have invested 0, then I invest 3 plus 7. Okay, this is 7 plus. If I take 3 plus 7, 9, and 9, sorry, 7 plus 3, 10, and 10 plus 2, 12. So this is 12. So it means whatever is not looking optimal at that time is actually optimal solution. So the global optimal solution for this particular problem is 12. So this is global optimal. But as a greedy approach, it has not suggested you that. Whatever best comes to your mind at that time, you has chosen that solution, but that solution is a local optimal solution, but not a global optimal solution. So this is the major disadvantage of greedy algorithm. Now, these are the main applications that we will going to take one by one in the coming lecture series. So there are basically 6 major applications from which you will going to get important questions from your in your university exam. The first application is activity selection problem. Second one is fractional knapsack, job sequencing with penalty and deadline, Huffman coding, minimum spanning tree, and single source shortest path. These are 6 topics that we're going to cover in next videos in detail with examples. So stay tuned for that videos as well. So all those videos will definitely going to clear all your concepts related to greedy algorithm. These are some advantages of advantages of using greedy algorithm, as we already did this with the help of example, that greedy algorithm is very simple to understand. The implementation of greedy algorithm is very simple. So these are basic advantages of using greedy algorithm. And disadvantages, obvious. The biggest disadvantage of using greedy algorithm is that what we find it true for today is not always true for future. That is the basic disadvantage of greedy algorithm, right? As it is written, na, that the local optimal solution may not always be global optimal. So this is the important thing that you have to understand about greedy algorithm. Because of this only we move to dynamic program. This is where the greedy algorithm fails and we move to greedy algorithms. Sorry, this is where this greedy algorithm fails and we move to dynamic programming, right? So these are the references from where I have referred this content. Okay, thank you for patient listening. And we're going to cover all the applications of greedy algorithm along with the next design strategy, that is divide and conquer, in upcoming videos. So do subscribe CETL channel of ABS Engineering College Ghaziabad. Thank you so much.